Hello and welcome back to my writing related video series where I read aloud my original novel, Nature's Culling. In this video I'm going to read chapter 7 out loud to you, and that is the pressure plot point. I have followed the 27 chapter method when I wrote this story, and so I'm going through the story one chapter at a time, and it basically followed this 27 chapter method. And that means that I have 27 chapters in total. So it will be a while until I get through to the end of the story, but I hope you will stick around for that. As always, you're welcome to just put your phone somewhere in your pocket or lay it on a table and then go and do chores like folding laundry or doing the dishes. And then you can just listen to me read this story to you. But let's get going. Penelope sniffles and tries to hold back her tears, but they come anyway. Another negative test. She thought she missed her period the last time, but like now, it turned out that it was just a week late. Once again, her period is just overdue and she's not pregnant. The test says as much, but it hits hard seeing it so clearly. It's hard for her to not be jealous, as it seems like everyone else gets pregnant so easily. Charlotte is pregnant and already in the second trimester, and her sister broke the news to her yesterday that she and her husband are having a child soon too. She's in her third trimester and Penelope hasn't even been in the first one. Penny, where are you? I gotta show you something. Penny sits there on the closed toilet, eyes downcast. She hardly registers it when Kenny says her name again. Then the door opens. Penny, what's wrong? Penny shakes her head but doesn't look up at him. She just points toward the sink where she led the negative pregnancy test. Kenny takes a few steps over to the test. He stops moving at once when his eyes land on the small window. Oh, another negative one? Penny hiccups but doesn't find any words to reply. Oh, Penny. Kenny turns around to face her. He squats down in front of her as she still doesn't look up to meet his gaze. I'm so sorry. I wanted it as much as you did, but it'll be positive next time. We just need to keep on trying and keep hoping. Penelope finally lifts her head to look him in the eyes. I've done nothing but hope and wait and pray. I've been hoping for the best and expecting the worst like my parents taught me, but it makes no difference. The tests keep being negative. Kenny gently grabs her chin and smiles a small smile at her. If this has been a test for the virus, we'd be relieved that it was negative. It's all relative. It definitely is, Penny replies in a low, soft voice. She clears her throat and wipes a tear from her cheek. What if it never happens, Kenny? We can't have a family of our own if I don't get pregnant. Kenny frowns. Maybe not, but don't meet trouble halfway, babe. It's still early in this process of starting a family. Not everyone is as fertile as your sister or Charlotte. Penny grimaces. No, everyone isn't that fertile, and I hate it. Why can't I get pregnant? It might be me, babe. If you were with someone else, you might have become pregnant already. Penelope sniffles and shakes her head. I don't think so. I think it's me. After all the times we've tried, I think it would have happened by now. Maybe it's me. If my little guys are no good, then it won't happen. Penelope grimaces and says, what if we need to get help for this to work? Kenny takes a deep breath. Then that's just what we're going to do. And if that doesn't work either, we can adopt. Adopt? Penelope thinks about it. Would you really like to adopt someone else's child? Kenny shrugs. Maybe. If that's the only way I can get a kid to take over the ranch one day, then... His voice trails off, but the smirk on his face suggests that he's only kidding, or at least mostly kidding. Is getting an heir really all you think about? Penny asks with a small smile. Kenny shrugs. No, I think about you and me, what we want, and what's best for the potential child we get. If we adopt, we do a good deed for someone else. A good deed? Penelope thinks it over. Okay, maybe that would be an okay alternative. I just noticed that I have 2 okays in one sentence, so I will fix that in the edits. But she pauses, biting her lip. I'd really like to have a small one that looks like you and me. Hopefully more you than me, Kenny says with a grin. No, silly, Penelope says. The kid should definitely look more like you than me. No, babe, Kenny shakes his head. Now you're being silly. The kid would be better off looking like you than me, especially if it's a girl. What's wrong with a handsome boyish girl? Kenny nods. All right, I'd be down with a tomboy daughter. Then I would expect that she'd want to raise cattle and ride horses and tend to the crops, like me. Penelope manages a small smile. I bet she would love to help you with all those things, she says, but don't expect that any kid we have is going to want to inherit this ranch and everything that comes with that. Oh, the kid better be into ranching, Kenny bursts out with a grin. Kidding aside, he says after a pause, how are you feeling? A bit better. Penelope smiles a small smile at him. Thank you. Thank you for always managing to cheer me up. You're welcome. Kenny stands up straight and moans, slightly stretching his back. Besides, I'd get bummed out if I had to listen to your complaining and watch your sad face all day. Penelope shrugs. Okay, I'll try my best not to be sad about this anymore. Good. Kenny nods and lends her a hand. She stands up too. You'll see. The next test is going to be positive, and everything will be fine and dandy, and then you'll realize you've worried for no reason. Do you promise that? Kenny shrugs. I can't promise that it will happen, but if we get sad, it's like accepting it won't happen, and if we stop trying, it definitely won't happen. You're right, Penelope nods. No need to worry until we know for certain. And if we should end there and consider adoption, we'll worry about that at that point. Exactly. Kenny grins. Until we have a kid of our own, we can just enjoy that Timothy and Kimberly are here. Penelope nods. Yeah. And when Charlotte has her baby, there'll be plenty of baby-related things to help with, I'm sure. There you go, Kenny says. Nothing to worry about. One thing at a time. Penelope smiles at him. As they walk out of the bathroom and down the hallway, Penelope asks, What was it that you wanted to show me? Oh, Kenny says, it's just a video of Kimberly trying to get on Sparkles. Is Charlotte letting her siblings ride now? Kenny grins. Yes, I think she's thought twice about it. When she's had her baby, she and Ryan will be busy with the baby. I think that's redundant. When she's had her baby, she and Ryan will be busy taking care of it. Probably mostly her, but I figured that Charlotte decided that we might need her sisters and brothers' help at the ranch until the baby is old enough to come along for her chores. I'm thinking that I might switch that out to Charlotte's chores. Penelope smiles. I could watch the baby and then Charlotte could do my chores. Ha ha, Kenny says. Nice try. No. Until we have a kid of our own, you're not getting out of doing your part. Penelope smiles at him and kisses his cheek. I suspected as much, but it's okay. I wouldn't have it any other way. The ringtone yanks Penelope out of her pleasant dream. She sits up straight in bed, panicking, looking around the darkened room. When her phone rings again, she breathes with relief. She answers the phone at the next ring. Kenny stirs in the bed beside her. "Hi, Penny," her brother-in-law says. "Hi, Dustin," she replies. Kenny stirs in the bed again, and this time he sits up and turns on the light on his bedside table. "Why are you calling in the middle of the night? Is something wrong?" No, Dustin says. "Nothing's wrong. Everything is fine. I just wanted to let you know that your sister has gone into labor. Her contractions are pretty close together now, so I thought that maybe you wanted to be here when she has the baby." "Oh," Penelope bursts out. Kenny sends her a worried look and he mouths the words, "Who is it?" Penelope holds a hand over the microphone. "It's Dustin. Peyton is having the baby." "Right now?" he asks, looking confused, probably still dazed from having been woken up. "Yes, right now," Penelope replies with a smile. Kenny gestures for her to put the phone on speaker and she does. Kenny is listening too. "Oh good," Dustin says. "You're both up. I'm sorry if I woke you if you'd rather sleep, Kenny, but if you want to go here with Penny, you shouldn't wait too long." "Is it that close?" Penelope asks. "I think so, yeah," Dustin says. Penelope looks at Kenny and without a word he gets what she's asking. "You can go. I'd better stay here at the ranch. At least one of us has to be here in the morning when the others get up." Penelope nods. "You heard that?" "Yeah," Dustin says, "but that's okay. You can stay at the ranch, Kenny. But if you don't want to miss this, Penny, you should come here ASAP." "I will. You can count on me. I'll be there." Dustin breathes audibly, seeming relieved. "Good. See you soon." "I'm so glad you made it, Penny," Dustin bursts out. "If you didn't come, Peyton would kill me." Penelope laughs. "I'm sure she wouldn't do something that drastic." Dustin grins. "You only say that because you didn't witness her contractions when they were at their worst." Penelope hugs him. "I'm glad she's over the worst part now." "I doubt it," Dustin says. "Baby hasn't come out yet. She's struggling to push." A smile spreads on Penelope's face. "If someone can drive my sister mad, it's me. If you can't make her push hard enough, I think I might be able to do it." "Maybe it helps if we both scream at her to push, push, push," Dustin exclaims. The loud outburst makes Penelope flinch. "Okay, if that didn't help, then I'm not sure I can do much of a difference." Dustin pats her arm and sends her a grin. "I'm really glad you're here." "Me too." They head for the hospital room. As they walk down the hallway, Penelope glances around, thinking about the last time she was there. It seems so long ago, but it wasn't. Time has flown by lately, and with everything that's happening, she almost forgets about the negative pregnancy test. Penelope walks straight to the bed her sister is lying in. "Oh, now you're here," Peyton exclaims. Her voice sounded harsh, but there's a smile on her face. "It only took a birth to get you to see your family." Penelope shrugs and smiles apologetically. "I'm sorry, but I've been busy at the ranch. We can't really leave the ranch for more than half a day. The animals need us, but the new helpers need us to be there too." "Oh," Peyton says, panting in between pushing. "That's right, your new helpers. How long have they been there now?" Penelope thinks about it for a moment, then says, "About 4 months. 4 months and a week." Or was it 2? I have added in a parenthesis. I need to look more into the timeline when I do the edits. So I make a note here in the margin. Timeline, okay, question mark and exclamation mark. About 4 months. 4 months and a week if counting from the very first day they moved into the extra house without permission. "Such rascals, huh?" Peyton says, panting. Yeah. Penelope grabs her sister's hand and squeezes it. I came because Dustin told me you're having a baby. So, where is the baby at, sis? Now do me a favor and push! Peyton grins, but at once her face gets serious and she pushes. Squeeze my hand a bit tighter, will ya? Penelope says with a smirk. It's not like I need my hand for anything. Dustin laughs and Peyton is about to push again, but then the nurse rushes forward, checking something between Peyton's legs. What's wrong? Penelope asks, heart pounding in her chest. Is something wrong with my baby? Peyton asks. The nurse doesn't reply. Instead, she calls for extra hands. Another nurse and a doctor rush into the room. Make room, the doctor demands. I think there's no way around it, but I have 2 times room shortly after one another, but I think it needs to be that way. Penelope and Dustin step back. In a rush of panic and Peyton screaming and panting in the bed, the nurses and doctor roll the bed out of the room. Should I follow them? Penelope swallows hard. No, I don't think so. Stay here until you're told you can go and see her. What's wrong? Do you have any guesses? Penelope shrugs. No, I don't. We can just wait. Dustin's shoulders drop. Oh, okay. Penelope guides her brother-in-law out of the room and she places him on the closest chair. In silence and nervous anticipation, they sit there and wait. When a nurse finally comes to get Dustin, Penelope's heart skips a beat. She stands up, ready to follow them to see her sister, but the nurse shakes her head. Penelope frowns but sits back down. Another nurse comes down the hallway a few minutes later. When Penelope gets to her feet, the nurse says, I'm sorry, but there were some complications. We had to do a C-section. But don't worry, the baby is fine and so is your sister. Your brother-in-law is with them now and you're welcome to join them. Penelope breathes with relief. Thank you, thank you. Don't thank me, the nurse says, smiling. I'm just doing my job. Thank you anyway, Penelope says. If you ask me, you don't get valued and praised enough, especially after handling the virus. The nurse smiles a sad small smile. Yeah, we're understaffed. I lost many colleagues to the virus. If you know of anyone who's interested in being a nurse or doctor, please do encourage them to pursue that career. Penelope smiles at her. I will. The nurse walks off after having informed Penelope of the room in which she can find her sister, her brother-in-law, and her newborn niece. As she walks down the hallway, her phone rings. She frowns and takes out her phone. Maybe it's Kenny who's wondering when she'll be home. But no, it's her mom. Hello, Mom, Penelope says as she answers the phone. Hi, honey. What's up? If you want to hear all about Peyton's baby, I'm sorry, but I can't tell you about it yet. I want to hear everything about my grandchild, her mother replies. Of course I do, but that's not why I'm calling. Oh? It's my sister. She died this morning. I just got a call from Stephen. Is Aunt Kathy dead? Yes, Penny, I'm afraid so. Penny's mom sniffles and blows her nose. Penelope waits for her mom to go on, but she doesn't say anything. I can't believe she's gone, Penelope says after a moment of silence. Me neither, her mom replies. Was she sick or something? No, not as far as I know, her mother says. Stephen said that she was smiling, happy to hear about Peyton having a baby, and then next she dropped to the floor. Something is wrong with this part of the sentence. It literally says, and the next she dropped to the floor. So I'm thinking that maybe the should be then. Stephen said that she was smiling, happy to hear about Peyton having a baby, and then next she dropped to the floor. That's so surreal, Penelope says. Yes, her mother agrees. Surreal doesn't cover it though. I saw her the day before yesterday. She was doing fine. There was no talk about her heart conditions or anything else that should raise concern. She simply dropped. Shit, Penelope mumbles under her breath. Yes, her mom says. It's so out there. I've heard of people getting a heart attack and just dropping like that, but I never imagined it would happen to my sister. Penelope frowns. I guess that's what everyone would think. No one expects that something like that would happen to them or someone they know. Blissful denial, her mom says. If we can fool ourselves into thinking that we're all well and healthy and will live till we're old and grey, it's... Her voice trails off and she sniffles. Yeah, Mom, I know. This really sucks. It does. Penelope takes a deep breath. Do you think you're up for coming to the hospital later today? There's silence at the other end of the phone for a moment. Then her mom says, No, honey, I don't think so. I'm sure I'll get the chance to see my grandchild tomorrow or the next day. Mom, Penelope sniffles, I think you should come. If you're the least bit up for it, I think you should just do it. You can warn Aunt Kathy later. No one knows what will happen. Hopefully it won't happen, but no one can promise us that we won't drop dead like she did. Penelope's mom takes a rattly, shaky breath. When she speaks, her voice is low. I know. You're right, honey. No one knows how long we're going to have on this earth. Your dad and I have been lucky to live this long, especially with the virus. If this is my last day, I'd better make the best of it. And so does your dad. I'm going to convince him to come with me. He might not admit it, but he wants to see our grandchild too. That's good, Mom. I'm glad. I might not be here still when you get here. You have to get back to the ranch, I take it? Yeah, Mom, I do. Oh, honey, her mom says. Sometimes. I know this might sound really bad and I'm sorry for saying it, but sometimes I wish that you'd never married Kenny. Penelope smiles. I know that some people in my family, including you, feel that way, but I'm not sorry for marrying him. I would be sorry if I didn't. I love Kenny more than anything in the world. I know, honey, and that's what makes it so heartbreaking. Heartbreaking? Yeah. Her mom takes an audible breath. After you two got married, you've barely been back home. Will you even go to Aunt Kathy's burial? Penelope takes a deep breath, running a hand through her long, lush brown hair. Mom, I really don't know. I haven't thought that far yet. Kenny tells me to just take one day at a time, and that's what I've been doing. But I guess that means that time just flies by and I don't really know what I'm doing with my time. Her mom laughs softly. Oh, honey, that's how we all feel. At least sometimes. I don't hope that you feel like that every day. Penelope bites her lip. No, I don't think so. But then again, I don't really have that much time to stop and think about things and how my life is going. Listen to me, honey. You need to take the time. Be sure to stop once in a while and think about things. And if you do that and find that you're still happy with your life, you won't ever hear me complaining about the choice you made. I might not be happy that I don't get to see you that often, but if you're happy for your life, then I'm happy too. All I've ever really wanted for you and Peyton is happiness, whatever that entails. Thanks, Mom. I really mean it, Penny. Don't thank me for wanting what's best for my children. We might not always agree on what's best for you, but that's a different matter. Penelope can't hold back a laughter. Her mom laughs softly too. They're silent for a moment, but Penelope enjoys just being on the phone with her mom without feeling like she needs to say something. Will you tell your sister or should I call her? Don't worry about it, Mom. I'll tell her. I'll be sure to let her know before I go home so you and Dad don't need to worry about breaking the news to her. Thank you, honey. Don't thank me, Mom, Penelope says. I'm just being a daughter. A good daughter, her mom corrects her. Penelope smiles. Goodbye, Mom. Talk later. I'd better go see Peyton and my niece or nephew. A note for that. Now I'm stating that my main character is going to see her niece or nephew, and that indicates that she doesn't know which gender the baby is, but I think I mentioned earlier that it's a girl. She talked about seeing her niece, and that that means that she actually knows it's a girl already. So I'm not sure. I just checked a few pages back to see if I could find the place where I mentioned that it's a niece, but I can't. I will look it up in my document when I can do a search in the document for the word niece. But for now, I'm just going to make a line here and a note. Good, you do that, honey. And please also let them know that Dad and I will stop by. Sure, Mom. They end the call and Penelope puts the phone back in her pocket. She's got things to do and people to talk to, but first off, she's going to see her niece or nephew and just enjoy having become an aunt herself. She doesn't want to think about the fact that she has lost one of her own aunts. She'll break the news to her sister and brother-in-law before she goes home, but until then, she just wants to think about other things, happier things. There are plenty of sad and bad things in the world already. So getting a bit of excitement of seeing the baby can hopefully make some of those bad thoughts fade. So that was chapter 7 of my novel, Nature's Culling. I hope you enjoyed this chapter and I hope that you are enjoying the story at large. So I also hope that you will continue on watching or listening to my videos where I read my story out loud to you. So I hope you'll watch the next video. Until then, take care. Thank you for watching.